The Lakers have the best odds of hoisting the Larry O'Brien, followed in a tie by the KD Kyrie combo and BK and the $228 million man Giannis and the Bucks and Kawhi's Clippers to round out the top four. I hear Kendrick Perkins has joined the debate. Is that true? Oh, it is. Here we go. Let the party begin. How are we doing? How are things in H-Town? It's good to see you. All right, let's get it.
Look at him smiling ear to ear. Molly, look at Perk smiling ear to ear. We're gonna fix that before the end of this segment.
Oh man!
Right? Oh my gosh! All right, Max, let's do this. I'm super excited, guys. NBA season tips off tonight. I know the show just started. I've already said it 80,000 times, but I have nothing else to do with my life, so I'm really looking forward to watching a lot of NBA games. Max, who's gonna win it all? The defending champion Lakers or the Field?
The Lakers are going to win the whole thing, and I'll pick them against the Field without hesitation. The only thing that could stop them is a catastrophic injury, knock wood. Basketball is not like football or baseball. Basketball is determinative, and when you get like the best team, almost always wins because you can run your plays through your best players. It's not like baseball; you got to wait for the guy to come up in the lineup. Or football, one whistle can vastly change the fortunes of a team. You know, there are so many plays in basketball. The best players dominate. And then it's not even like the tournament where it's one and done, where maybe you can get an upset. It's 7 games. Almost always the best team wins. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the best team is the team that I just saw go wire to wire as the best team in the Western Conference. And then once the playoffs started, never really got extended. 4-1-4. I mean, in the finals, they won 4-2, but the West couldn't get more than a game out of them. Right? Per series, Carroll is like an old school power forward, an energizer guy. They have everything surrounding LeBron and AD. But guys, in the history of the NBA, when you have the best player in the world paired with another top 5 player, when have they ever lost? Like the exception that proves the rule, maybe you could find 1 or 2 cases. They almost always win. There's no other pairing like that in the NBA where you say that guy's the best and that guy's a top 5 player. The Lakers are going to beat the Field and win the championship, barring injury.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that they are the best team. And if I had to pick one team to win the championship, it would be the Lakers. And you left out the Wesley Matthews edition, which I think is huge because he's going to be able to hit spot-up shots. He's going to get a ton of open shots in that situation. But the problem is, you said barring catastrophic injury, it doesn't have to be catastrophic. It just has to be injury at a particular moment. They don't win the championship without both AD and LeBron James. I think that either one of them, considering LeBron's age and his injury a couple years ago, and AD, frankly, has had a lot of injuries, and that happens with guys that are that size and somehow manage to have the skills of a guard at the same time. It's difficult to stay healthy. So an injury at the wrong time hurts this team, but I would pick them still, considering that over everybody else, if we had to pick one team. But you're giving me the entire rest of the NBA? Like, this league is not a bunch of slouches. It's the most talented NBA that we've ever seen, and the talent is pretty well dispersed. Like, we could think of Portland, and the Nuggets are a team that I think a lot of people should be excited about. If Michael Porter Jr. is able to make that jump, he's a guy who could give AD some problems on defense if he learns how to play defense. And then also he can score, and they have Jokic and Murray. Like, that's a team that can threaten them in the West. We also have on the Eastern Conference, we have the 76ers have added some shooting and Curry and also Danny Green. The last time they had shooting around them, they were a couple bounces away from going to the finals. You bring in Doc also, who's an experienced coach, who's a championship coach, and assuming that Embiid and Simmons can stay healthy, like, that is a pair that you would not be ashamed to match up against LeBron and AD. With the athleticism and the defense that Simmons brings, he can give LeBron some trouble. And obviously Embiid is an offensive threat and is big enough to contest some of the things that AD wants to do. So I would agree with you. The Lakers are the best team, but you're giving me the whole field. I just went through a few teams. I didn't even touch on Brooklyn, and KD's going to come back and be as good as he was before he left. Like, there are so many teams out there that it's just hard for me to give up the whole field for just one team when we know that any one moment something could happen that could throw this team out of whack.
Well, Dominique, look, man, I feel sorry for you today. And brother, you should have picked up the phone and called me because you off your game right now. Because if you think at any chance or for any moment that the Denver Nuggets could be a threat to the Los Angeles Lakers or any team, I would say the team that comes the closest to being a threat to them right now, from my eye test, just watching them in the preseason, is the Brooklyn Nets. But when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, they have the most championship experience. They have the best duo in the NBA, the best duo, in my opinion, since Kobe and Shaq. And then, on top of that, they have the most championship experience. They have veteran leadership. And now you add guys like you said, Wes Matthews, a guy that could provide a defensive spark on one end and is capable of knocking down three-point shots. Caldwell Pope, who struggled last regular season but elevated his game tremendously in the playoffs. Montrezl Harrell, who has a lot to prove. Him and Anthony Davis in the front court will be tremendous on the defensive end. Because what people don't realize about Montrezl Harrell is that last year he finished top 10 in protecting the basket. He finished top 10 in taking charges. He's a guy that can switch 1 through 5. And so you give that combination with him and Anthony Davis, who in my opinion, Anthony Davis should have won Defensive Player of the Year. Now you have those two on the court at the same time, two mobile bigs on the defensive end that could do it all and protect one another. That's
Marc
a
Gasol,
dangerous
too.
combination. And I know that, Max. I gave you your time to talk, and I finished speaking. Thank you. And when you look at LeBron James, don't come giving me nothing about his age and all this. The season is right back here. He only had 2 months off. So it's not like, we going into a whole, if it was 3 years from now, I get that. But LeBron is just fine. He's going to come out on a mission.
Yeah.
And like you said, Dennis Schroeder. And why are we not bringing up
Gonna mention
Taylor
the whole
Horton
roster, Perk?
Tucker? Yeah, I am going to mention the whole roster because that's how deep they are. That's how deep they are. And then guess what? You done gave Anthony Davis a taste of what it feels like that he know that he could be the best player at any time. Anthony Davis is actually my MVP pick for this season because this is a guy that has no flaws offensively, no flaws defensively, and he's coming in as an NBA champion, just hitting his prime at 27 years old. It's over for everybody else. I'm picking the Lakers.
Dominique, quick, before he starts going over the G League roster,
Go ahead.
let me just say that he's right about Taylor Horton Tucker. Taylor Horton Tucker and Caruso, by the way, those are the kind of players that are like the hallmarks of a good organization. When you can find guys like that who can clearly at least serve a specific function, if not more, with like real upside, and you have guys like LeBron and AD, it's the kind of team where when Taylor Horton Tucker starts showing you he can actually play, it's like, well, you just throw up your hands. What are you supposed to do? You don't have enough to worry about with LeBron and AD. You have other guys who can go score. It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree with you guys. I agree. I picked the Lakers also if we had to pick one team, but we're saying we have the field. And guys like Caruso and Taylor Horton Tucker, like he's come on strong. Everyone's seen it. It's been impressive so far in the preseason. But come on, the finals are not going to be decided by those deep guys on the roster. The finals are going to be decided by the two last year. It was impressive. I saw it. We have the shortest offseason in the history of any professional sports. And LeBron, I understand, he is not the youngest person out there, and I understand that he seems to be indestructible. But we have seen him get injured. Like, it's happened. He's getting older. That's something that could happen. And AD has been injured for plenty of games and plenty of seasons. That's something that could happen. I agree with you. If nothing goes wrong, the Lakers are winning the championship. But if they have any slip up, if they lose any of those important pieces or they are weakened in any way, there's a lot of talent out there. We haven't even talked much about the Blazers. Like, there are a lot of good teams. You're making it seem as if we're looking at a Warriors situation where we got MVPs on top of MVPs on top of MVPs and no one else can compete. This team is not that far separated from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, yes, they are.
I think they're more separated than you realize because real quick, Perk, let me just say this. None of the Lakers improved in the offseason. The likely contenders really didn't